Eu tive a oportunidade de ver uma série super interessante chamada Joan. É uma série inglesa estrelada pela Sophie Turner, que todo mundo lembra, é a Sansa de Game of Thrones. Ela faz o papel da Joan Hannington, que realmente existiu. Ela foi assim a maior ladra de joias da Inglaterra nos anos 80. A Joan, a verdadeira, ela inclusive ajudou no roteiro. A Joan da série, ela tem que fugir com a filhinha dela, porque ela está sendo perseguida por bandidos, então ela precisa deixar a filhinha dela no serviço social, né? E vai ver se consegue alguma coisa na vida para conseguir recuperar a filha. Só que para isso, ela começa uma vida de crimes. Quer saber? Gostei bastante. Além da Sophie, a série tem o Frank Delane, que você deve lembrar do Fear the Walking Dead. E o Gershwyn Eustache Jr., que fez aquela série chamada Britânia, que também é bem interessante. Eu tive a oportunidade super legal de conversar com o Gershwyn. Ele foi super simpático. Na série, ele faz o papel de Albie. Ele é uma espécie de parceiro da Joan e do namorado dela. Mas tem uma coisinha aí no meio. Então dá uma olhadinha na nossa conversa. Foi muito legal. How did you get involved with Joan? Because it's a very beautiful series, and I think you were fantastic in it. So how did you get involved?
So I got the chance to have a couple of audition rounds with Richard, who is the director. So on our first chat was just a quick over Zoom, just talked me through it very quickly, and then we went through a couple of scenes. We then had a more in-depth chance to sort of sit down and, break down a bit more of the time, what the 80s were like in London at that point in time, and what kind of, what's the best way to say, that gray area that these characters kind of live in. Also, when you have a second chance, it kind of gives you a bit of time in between to go away, read a bit more, listen to some of the music and sort of work out what this person might be. Then had a second audition, and yeah, Richard seemed happy. So, then I got the offer, and I was definitely going to get involved.
I have a question about how do you see Albie? Because I see him as I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but I see him as the villain of the story.
I think Richard was good in terms of directing things with Albie in that direction. I think when you're playing the character, you might not think of it that way. You kind of find his justification for making certain decisions. A better way to say that is he's a survivalist. So, he might not always want to put anyone else in harm's way, or he doesn't want to sort of screw over anybody else, but he's going to try his best to protect himself. He's been good at it. This is why he survived in this kind of gray area or criminal underworld for so long. He's good at talking himself out of a situation. And yeah, I obviously no spoilers, but you see throughout the series him have opportunities to make certain decisions, and ultimately, or maybe he kind of chooses his own survival. So in that, he may become the villain of the story, but it's just very interesting to see how that aligns or doesn't align with what Joan needs to achieve. And I think throughout that, you get that kind of posting of whether it's a good person or a villain, or.
Do you see him in love with Joan?
I think there's a definite attraction. I think the thing about Albie and Joan is that they are quite similar. I think Joan and Albie, they enjoy the extravagance. They enjoy the dressing up, the putting on of characters, like the playfulness in the work that they do. And I think that she is such a master of it that there is that attraction between the two of them. Like, she's like physically very attractive, and mentally her strength, there's a definite attraction there. So yeah, for Albie, I don't think it's difficult at all.
What do you want, Joan?
without giving some spoilers, but the end is like open, right? Do you see Albie having to take care of his back in the future, season 2?
Yeah, well, without trying to put too many spoilers out there, I think yes. Like we said with the earlier question, in terms of certain decisions that he'd make, like the cards that are in front of him and which ones he chooses, leads him or leads them all to a moment near the end of the series where things can seem a little frayed. I think the determination that we see from Joan, he would definitely have to watch out for himself. Put it that way.
You love all this, don't you? Dressing up, pretending.
Job satisfaction isn't a crime.
Well, the rest of it is.
What about the future? You have a new series also coming soon, and I don't know if you're coming to the theater again. How is the future for you?
So at the moment, we've just had a show come out on HBO called Get Millie Black. So that was set in Jamaica. It's a propulsive crime drama about a detective that comes from Scotland Yard in England and goes back to Jamaica. And that's it's a brilliant series with loads of social issues woven into the narrative. So that's coming out weekly, and in the new year I'll be going back into the theatre. So I'm back at the National Theatre and looking forward to it.
Been a tough day.
Oh yeah, what'd you do?
I'm a thief.
Tune in, see what the 80s might have been like in London. Enjoy the glamorous extravagance, the vibrance, the partying, the jewels, the music, the traveling. But at its heart, enjoy a story of family, be it a good one or be it a broken one, and the absolute strength of Joan, of this woman who wants to do better for her daughter, and how it may lead her in different directions. So I hope everyone enjoys the series.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
I need to keep you safe.